Hello to my Virgos. Virgos. All right, let's get into your reading. Let's see what's in your cards, Virgos. The moon has moved into Sagittarius. Moving into Sagittarius. All right, so Sagittarius is the I philosophize sign. For those of you all who follow the moon phases, we had a full pink moon. That's right, full pink moon. Let's see. Venus is no longer retrograde. For those of you who like to follow retrogrades, Mercury is no longer retrograde. Um, so things are moving right along in terms of station direct at the moment. All of these videos are timeless. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We built a nice little community here. So thank you for all the love, all the likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. Thank you for all the text messages you all send me. Have me kikiing. We like to kiki over here. So let's get into it. Let's get right over into it, Virgos. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's see what's going on here. So when the moon moves through Sagittarius in particular, Sagittarius rules ninth house. You start to think about like what's on the horizon. You know, like aiming higher, like what's on the horizon, like in terms of broadening your horizon, in the spiritual realm. Start thinking about maybe traveling more, kind of, thinking in terms of like your conversations around spirituality, maybe kind of reaching across the aisle and talking to some people about what their beliefs are growing up, and kind of opening your mind up a little bit more about other people's beliefs in a more excited way, like trying to kind of understand what other people grew up believing, and in a very positive, high vibrational way, kind of broadening the horizon a bit. But let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. So yeah, it's time to flourish. Yeah, it's time to flourish. Time to flourish. Yeah, it can be quite exciting when you try to kind of sort of ask people questions about like what how did they, like, for instance, get into tarot, like what started people's interest in tarot, like why did people, well, how did their family start in particular church or mosque or temple, or like what did people grow up studying, why did people go to certain schools, or why are people the first doctors, as would start a person on the path of going to medical school, or what started people being the first entrepreneur in their family, or increasing knowledge, or why, asking questions, like increasing your knowledge and learning in that regard. So why do people travel, certain places, or have you ever traveled outside of your neighborhood? Those kind of things. So that's what a moon in Sagittarius kind of helps people to kind of sort of learn and kind of expand your knowledge and the whys, all those things, right? So let's get into your reading and let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. So, all right, let's see what angel number 635, stagnant. Life grows in the peaceful moment. So your angels know that life has felt stagnant lately, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening behind the scenes. So sit for 1 minute. Wait a minute. Sit for 1 minute where you can be undisturbed. Focus on your breathing, trying to be as connected to your own self as possible. When the minute is up, notice how much you have mindfully changed, even in that short, seemingly uneventful stretch of time. Right? So 635, right? So yeah. So this color purple here, speaks to the crown chakra, like adjusting your crown, helping other people to adjust their crown. And the 6 is like a really maternal number. It's like, like connecting on a divine feminine energy, right? Because the crown chakra speaks to like the spiritual realm, helping people to adjust their crowns. you know, helping people to adjust their crowns. Not in a judgmental way, just kind of more of like just a more of an trying to understand in a way, having conversations with energies, right? Trying to stay focused, trying to understand. And you're talking about that number 8, 6, and then 8. Trying to kind of really understand from a spiritual standpoint, not in a judgmental way. You kind of lose people when you're trying to flourish, because the opposite of flourishing would be withering away and dying. 8 is a karmic number, and but it also connects us with death. It connects us with 8th house. 8th house is a when you pull people into other people's karmic cycle, you know, of like death, where people just cannot, when they're holding on to, for instance, like this number 6, when they just cannot let go of something, you know, can't let go of something to a point, you know, like judging something, or, you know, in this case, since we're in the year 9, can't let go of a spiritual belief to a point where you can agree to disagree and it being disagreeable. So let's get into it. Yeah, there we go. Something went off. Something took off fast. Something like took off like wildfire. Some kind of a disagreement between two people took off like wildfire. And something went from focus to not focus. Something between two energies took off like wildfire. So, and Source is trying to speed up your prayers quickly. Source is trying to speed up your prayers quickly away from karmic, like a karmic relief. We're talking about fire. Fire connects us with the lower chakras. So, fire connects us with the mental, subtle bodies. So it connects us with the 3rd layer, the mental body. That's the 3 to 8 inches off the physical body. It's related to solar plexus chakra. And the mental processes, ideas, judgments. You know, you need to, it connects us with the fire, right? To dry things rubbing together, like agree to disagree. When something was disagreeable, right? Almost like a fight broke out or something. Like people arguing and just disagreeing, and something just took off like wildfire, right? That layer is connected to both the conscious, subconscious, and it'll reveal any self-doubts and limiting beliefs, right? Where people can't stay focused, right? So Source is trying to help somebody to stay focused, trying to help you to stay focused, right? Right? So it's like you and somebody cannot stay. It's like you and somebody totally disagree when it comes to maybe you and your kids. And it's like stagnancy. You and somebody just don't agree when it comes to kids and your kids. And that number 3 right here, that number 3 could mean y'all need to talk. I mean, you and somebody needs to talk. I mean, you and somebody needs to talk. Like maybe y'all need to talk fast or something. Maybe you and somebody need to have a talk real fast. So, maybe something nostalgic. Maybe like talk about childhood, or like maybe like because something is going on. Something is going on, like possibly behind your back. Something very wounded and unhealthy is going on. Something is taking place. So it could be between you, your grandkids, your kids or grandkids. So maybe you and somebody need to have a talk. So something is like, something goes from like a, you know, it's like, you know what I'm picking up on, because somebody is familiar with something. Either you are familiar with something, or somebody is familiar with something. Somebody is like hovering over somebody. Because fire is like familiar energy, right? So somebody is familiar with a situation Maybe how somebody hears something, or how somebody listens to something, or how somebody sees through, like somebody sees something, or somebody may be familiar with a childhood or something that you're familiar with, that maybe somebody is not familiar with something, right? So something is like taking off like wildfire. Yeah, here we have the Page of Pentacles here, and a message is a message is coming through of a new lease on life. Some kind of a message is coming through of a new lease on life. Like somebody is getting a message of a new lease on life, and it's coming through real fast, right? Of two people, a decision has been made of a new lease on life. It's coming through real fast. Somebody is familiar with a new lease on life is coming through a message. And then somebody is moving. That somebody has a new lease, or somebody heard something. Somebody is moving quickly. The Devil card. So, you got some good news that's coming in. Right? A message of some good news that's coming in, right? You got a message of some good news that's coming in. So, you're highly intuitive. And again, I'm talking to you wherever Virgo's in your birth chart. We know Virgo's rules 6th house, right? So, it looks like, looking at your cards here, your energy, somebody's energy mirrors someone else's energy. Somebody's energy mirrors someone else's energy, right? Here's the High Priestess energy, right? You've gone through a dark night of the soul, but your energy mirrors someone else's energy, right? Even when you all don't talk. So it looks like you're at a you are at a crossroad in your life. You're at a crossroad in your life, Virgos. You're at a crossroad. You are at a crossroad. Five of Pentacles. Your life mirrors someone else's life. So I'm not sure how many messages Source has to keep sending someone. I don't know how many messages Source has to keep sending someone. But Source keeps sending somebody messages over and over and over again of self-worth. Source keeps sending you messages of self-worth. Of knowing your worth. Remember, everybody has been a pick-me spirit. That's everybody. That's not an insult. Just so we're crystal clear. A pick-me spirit is not an insult. It's kind of like if somebody is saying it in a demeaning way, like if somebody saying, "Oh, they just a pick-me spirit," whatever. But it's everybody wants to be chosen for something. Like everybody wants to be like everyone wants to be chosen for a particular school or a job or like an organization. That would be a school job, whatever, right? But it's when you know your worth, like you know how to negotiate salary, you know how to negotiate this, you know how to negotiate that, right? But everybody wants to be chosen for something. But it's what makes it a person feel like this is when you don't know that you hold the key, right? That's what makes the difference between you negotiating a salary when you go for an interview and somebody else not negotiating, like a person just taking the first thing that somebody says, "Hey, we're going to offer you this," and another person saying, "Well, let me think about it because when I did my research, then I know that this is, what you all are offering. This is what I was getting paid." Negotiation, right? So, and knowing what this really means metaphysically, the devil, right? So source is saying, and then also knowing that you are a partner, like you being a partner in a relationship and not having somebody to look down on you because of your gifts, because of your high priestess gifts. And I'm talking to men and women, Virgos, by the way, right? Not somebody treating you less than because of your age, because of your gender, because of your spiritual gifts, right? And that you're a helpmate, not that you less than, right? So somebody gets downloads very, very quickly. Not because you have a higher level of degrees or make more money or whatever. You don't have to have somebody to go be a spy behind somebody closed doors to find out what somebody got going on. Like, yeah, so somebody is going to get it. Somebody is getting it. That's the source is trying to tell you. Is like somebody feels like they got to quickly find out what's going on in somebody's life by getting somebody behind closed doors. Not when you're a light high priestess. You don't have to become familiar with what's going on behind closed doors when you're a light high priestess. You get your downloads. You get your downloads from your dreams in other ways. So somebody's at a crossroad right now. You don't have to go astral project. You don't have to, that's one way. You don't have to go send somebody into a spy, make them feel worthless. None of that. That has happened to you. You don't have to be a nightmare in somebody's life. That's what somebody has done to you. Somebody has sent your kids and grandkids into your house to spy on you. You already have enough information. Somebody has done that to you. Somebody has been a dark wolf energy in your life. Somebody has bullied you. Somebody has made your kids and grandkids feel like they had the weight of the world on their shoulders. Somebody has been emotionally immature, said emotionally immature things to you because you wouldn't take them back if you saw a pig fly through the sky. Somebody has done all those things to you. Somebody has treated your kids or grandkids, ruined their lives, took everything away from them. They couldn't even have their own life, took every dime they had from them, took their whole livelihood away from them, ruined their entire lives, made them spy on you. If you're a grandparent, they did that to your son or daughter, adult son or daughter, took their whole lives away just to spy on you. And if you're a young child, they're doing it to them right now. Just to find out what's going on in your life. Just obsessed. So source is saying you can walk away at any point in time from those karmics. And not look back. It's really a form of abuse. It is a form of abuse. When you look at somebody in their 20s, 30s, 40 years old who have their whole quality of life is down the toilet because you got somebody else who's obsessed with you, but won't even let them live their lives because somebody's so obsessed with you. They got to use somebody and make them feel at their lowest, take their whole lives away from them just to spy on you. Sick. Absolutely sick. Treat them less than. Create a nightmare for their lives just to stay connected to you. This is the Three of Pentacles here. And tell them that they're part of a team. Make them feel like they're leading something. And you got to look at them. Yeah. So Source is saying, here's the Seven of, yeah. I don't know, somebody has a little kid that somebody's doing this to. Somebody has a little, this is a young person right here. I don't know if they like 5. This is 5 of Pentacles here. Somebody's 5, somebody could be 3. It's like 2 kids, 2 little kids. Somebody could be 8, 5 and 3 is 8. Or somebody's almost like spending 8 hours a day. I don't know who these little kids are. 1, 2, 3. But they having nightmares. Somebody could be 6. But somebody's spying on somebody's mother, or like a very nurturing. It could be a man, but somebody. It could be a father that somebody's, or a mother or a father that somebody's spying on. But somebody's a very nurturing spirit that somebody's spying on. But somebody's getting wind that somebody is moving. But this is somebody spying on somebody, because this has to be somebody is like, has access to information on somebody. Either somebody has broken into somebody's emails, which I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised that somebody has done that, and that's illegal. Somebody broke into somebody's emails, creating some nightmare, or keeping in contact with just sick. Yeah, Tower. Trying to create a tower in people's lives. Yeah. So, anyway. Here's a Page of Swords here. Whatever anxiety you may have been feeling will be going away very, very soon. But there's a young person. There's a young person here that has just kind of like, somebody is in survival mode. I don't know who this young person is, but somebody is really in survival mode. This is sad. But see, this bull right here lets me know that somebody has been bullied. This right here lets me know that somebody feel like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. Wow. There's a man and a woman involved in something. Using somebody's child, a grandchild, or somebody's kids. Somebody is saying they got somebody's back. But I'm going to leave that part out of the reading. Never mind. All right. So somebody is saying they got access to something. Somebody's saying they have something in their bag. Somebody's saying they got something in the purse. They got some, somebody feels like they have some, there's something in somebody's purse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a team. Yeah. Somebody definitely used somebody to do something to you, Virgo. And somebody was absolutely obsessed with doing something to you. And this person actually feels sick about it. This young person feels sick about it. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know whose ex this is, Virgo, but an ex is not always ex love interest. It could be your ex love interest, or somebody you could have kids with, or grandkids, or whatever with. But and if you have multiple kids by multiple people, whoever would be this and vindictive. I'm gonna just put it this way: whoever would be this obsessed with you. But it could be ex-friend. It could be a sibling you don't talk to anymore. Like somebody who is just misery who loves company. That's who it would be. Somebody who is just that jealous of your life. Who who any day wants to stagnate your growth. That somebody who you would adjust their crown, but they don't want you. They like somebody you would consider as like, you would see a person who is like, you would help them to adjust their crown, but they would knock yours off, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody who knows you got some money coming, and they would do anything they could do to stop it. So anybody you can think of that way? It could have been somebody you worked with. You know, they know you got something coming. They know you got big money coming. They gonna do anything they could do to stop it. What is wrong with people? That's all I can say. Just like, Lord have mercy. What is wrong with people? Y'all gotta learn how to start taking a page out of people's books who just quietly move on with their life. Just, y'all know what I'm saying, Virgo? It's like when people just quietly move on with their lives. You got some people out here. I'm not gonna lecture y'all. Just listen. Y'all got some people out here that just know how to quietly move on with their lives. They just you got some people who are obsessed. They look at people and just look at them as like, oh, that person's weak. We're gonna make them fight. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like there's some people who just look at people and just, we're gonna make them fight. We're gonna make them turn around. We're gonna make them fight. We're gonna make them fight. And you gotta learn how to say, you know what? You let source fight your battles. You gotta learn how to say, I'm gonna let source fight my battles. You gotta learn how to for real let source fight your battles. Because somebody really don't want you to have something. They really just want to stop. I mean, when I say misery loves company, somebody going to really have to say, you know what, I'm going to let source fight this battle. Because their arms are too short to box with God, for real. You have to let source fight this. So whatever you wish. When you lessen the importance of problems and suffering, life will swing back into balance. Stop the struggle and feel peace. The world responds to you. It's like, I'm telling y'all, it's whoever this energy is, it's literally like they're fighting in the physical. So you don't need to fight in the physical. Source is trying to teach you how to fight in the spiritual realm. And that's what somebody who's learned how to fight in the spiritual realm is trying to teach you. Virgo, somebody's trying to teach you how to fight in the spiritual realm. That's the energy you're picking up on. So starlight, don't slow down manifestation through hesitation or worry. Keep the faith and create light in the dark. The path and the stars is made by the same energy. I feel like somebody may feel like something isn't happening fast enough. Maybe that's why you maybe feel like you have to fight in the physical realm. But Source is trying to teach you the power of letting Source fight your battles for you. That may seem weak to some people. But Source is trying to tell, you know, like, that's how the devil is crafty. The devil is crafty. The devil will make you feel like, okay, you so turned around and confused. And when you're at a crossroad, you don't know, okay, confused, right? So it's like, no, let source fight your battles. Let source fight your battles. Yeah. The enemy will make you confused and exhausted. You be recharging and regrouping, like you be snatching the plug out the wall and plugging it back up and snatching the plug out the wall. You be so turned around, you don't even know which direction to take. So it say, always vibrate higher and let source fight it. Just stay focused. Transformation, you're going through a transformation. Yep. You're going through a transformation. A shedding. You're going through a very powerful shedding. Rebirth. Right? Wealth. Keep up the great work. That's what I have for you, Virgos. I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully this has been helpful for you all. But somebody is trying to show you in the spiritual realm how to fight your battles and how to win fast. This is somebody who's trying to teach you how to do it in the spiritual realm. Somebody that you don't talk to. And someone has been an open book with you. And they know that you're walking on eggshells. Somebody that you have talked to. You talked to them for a short period of time. It gave you some ideas. You only talked to them for a short period of time. They were an open book with you about some things, and they moved on with their life because they were going through a transition themselves. Something about airplanes, because 8 of Wands is about something about flight, airplanes, something about that. And they moved on. There's something about what they were going through. They felt like they were going through the weight of the world, felt like the weight of the world on their shoulders. The source will put people in your life for a short period of time to teach you something. And they're going through a transition, but something you all have in common. Something you all have in common. But that's what I have for you. All right. Bye.